T. Clark here, and this video is on the 2022 AP Computer Science A FRQ number 2. So in number 2, we have to make a class. So before we even make the class, we have a book class that's partially defined. And it looks like we have a title instance variable, which is a string. We have a price instance variable with it, which is a double. So a book is a title and a price. It has a constructor. It looks like a full constructor that's taken care of. Again, implementation not shown means we're not going to have to worry about coding it. We will use it though. Same thing with get title. It returns the title. I don't even know why they showed us that, but normally they show us implementation not shown. But either way, you don't have to worry about coding that. Maybe this is a helper, help students out to show you how, a reminder how to do an accessor method. I don't know. But then the next one is a Git Book Info, and it looks like it's similar to a toString method, where it returns a string of the data nicely formatted. And again, you don't have to worry about other variables, constructors, or methods. You just have to worry about the constructor, get title, and get book info for book. So it says you have to write a textbook class, which is a subclass of book. So it looks like we're finally doing subclasses, not inheritance, but extensions of classes. So let's see what a textbook has. So a textbook has an edition number, which is a positive integer used to identify different versions of the book. So it looks like I have an edition, which is an int. So that has one extra instance variable in addition to title and price. Because remember, since it's a subclass of book, a textbook also has a title and it has a price, but we use a super to take care of those. But they are part of the textbook class, so a textbook does have a title, a textbook does have a price. The get book info, similarly, actually, when the get book info is called on a textbook, it'll return a string that also includes the addition information. So it's more complicated than just the title, dash, and a price. And we'll talk about that in a bit. And it shows the examples on the next page. So it says next, information about the book title and price must be maintained in the book class. So again, the super class is taking care of that. Information about the edition must be maintained in the textbook class. So edition must be maintained, okay. It says the textbook class contains an additional method, can substitute for. Okay, so we're going to make that method as well, which will return true or false. Okay, so Boolean. True if it's a valid substitute. So it looks like maybe similar to an equals method. So what's the condition? So it says the current textbook is valid substitute. So true if the two textbooks have the same title. So same title, titles are equal. And if the addition of the current one, of this one, is greater than the addition of the parameter of the other one. Okay, we'll get to that later on. But for now, let's look at the example. So I have a couple textbooks, a textbook, so it has a title, it has a double, and it has or a string title, a double price, I guess, and then an int for that new addition instance variable. So same thing, string, double, int. So that's a constructor we're going to have to make. We have a get addition, which has nothing inside, which returns a number. Oh, and notice this get addition wasn't listed in here, but that's part of the maintaining the textbook class. So that's basic accessor method. So we still have to code that, it looks like. Get book info. Okay, so here we have the get book info, which is the title, the double, and the what's it called? Addition, that's what it's called. Okay, then can substitute for. So it looks like again, it looks like an equals. So does this one equals that one, kind of, sort of? And it's true or false depending on what it is. So bio 19 is true because 3 is greater than or equal to 2. And then bio 2015 is false because 2 is not greater than or equal to 3. Yeah, so that's what it talks about. And then we have a calculus book, and then can substitute for math is false because obviously the titles are different. So it tells us to write the complete textbook class, okay? And we must meet all specifications from the first page and conform to the examples shown in the table. So we have to use the table and the previous page. So first things first, I'm going to make a class textbook. So public class textbook. And again, since we're doing a super class, it'll be extends the book class. Give myself lots of space here. Okay, so first things first, I have an addition number. Okay, so my instance variable, my private instance variable, again, it has to be private, and it's an int. Let's call it addition. Next things set up is usually the constructor, so public textbook. I always capitalize the B for some reason. Okay, so textbook, and then again, I can look at the example. It has to have a string for the title. I'll just use the letters in my parameter list right here, and then I have a double, and that's the price. So double, and then int for the addition. Okay, and then again, since it's extending the book, remember when we extend something, the first thing in the constructor should be a super call, and a super call, I look at my super method, oh, I went too far. The book has a title and the price. So the super takes care of the title and the price, and that's it. I don't have to worry about any of that. The book takes care of that. I just had to worry about the super call, and that's it. Okay, then I do my normal addition equals E. So the one up top is on the left, the one in the parameter is on the right, and I could always do this dot addition on the left. Either way, it should work out. And if I run it right now, it'll give me some errors. Yeah, because I'm not done. So I'll just clear that out. Don't worry about that. Okay, next thing's next. Oh, get addition. So that's the easy accessor. So it's going to return an int. It has to be public. So public int get addition. So just normal accessor method, just return addition. Maybe that's why they put the title here. That was a little hint right there. And another hint up here for the privates. Yeah, make sure your instance variables are private right there. Everything else is public though. Okay, so now I need to get book info. So I'm going to do that next. So get book info. So it's similar to a toString, but it's a little bit different. So public, well, it's a string, get book info. No parameters. So how do I get the book info? So it says I want to print out, it shows me I want to print out the title, and then the price, and then the edition. So I'm going to return, I'm not going to do it right here. I'm going to do something else. I'm going to just, I'm going to just do these for example. I'm going to do a title dash price, and then I have to concatenate the dash and then the addition no matter what. So how do I get this title and price? That's the key for this one. And if I look back up at my book class, I have a get title. So I could have used get title. I could have replaced this with a get title and then a dash, but I don't have a get price. There's a get price. It could have a get price, but it doesn't say I have a get price. So I can't assume that there's a get price. I can use, however, this Git Book Info, and this actually has the title, the dash, and the price. So exactly what I need. So this I'm going to put right here. But then how do I access it? How do I get that book and then the method from the book? Again, since I'm extending the book, I'm extending that book. Whatever the book is a super. So I'm going to say, okay, super book, get me that info. So because I'm doing super, I'm not actually accessing this one. This one is really this .get book info, but I want to say, okay, book, get the info, which is a title dash price, and then I'm going to add append on, concatenate more, the dash and the addition, and then make sure I have a semicolon, and that should be it for get book info. So it should be the first part, which is from the book class, and then the dash and the addition number. So next things I have can substitute for. So what's can substitute for? True or false, so it's Boolean. So I'm gonna put it up here. So public Boolean can substitute for. Okay, so what does it can substitute for? It means if the have the same title. So same title I'm going to return just the Boolean statement. So return if the title, so how do you get the title of a book? I'm going to say, okay, get title. So I'm getting the title of the textbook, and I'm seeing if it equals, oh, wait, I totally messed up. Equals what? Equals the parameter. So I have another textbook, so the parameter. So I need to have a textbook parameter. I almost totally forgot that. Textbook, I'm going to call it other like I normally do for equals. So again, it's like an equals method. Normally, if you're coding, you'd override the object equals and say equals, but we're doing specific names here. So but I'm going to treat it the same. So I'm going to say, okay, if the get title of the textbook equals the other dot get title. So that's the first condition. I'm going to do and what's the next condition? The next condition is if the edition of the current textbook, so edition, and if this edition is what, greater than or equal to other dot edition is greater than or equal to, yep, greater than or equal to the other edition. And I always prefer, I think you can do this, this works out, but I prefer saying, okay, get edition. So I'm using that parameter, and I want to do pure encapsulation. So I'm going to say, okay, use that getter method to access the other dot get edition. And there we go. So I have, what is it? Edition is 3, biology 9, 39.75 and 3, and then it's true, false, false. True, false, false. And again, don't worry about the code that runs this. It's just making sure I got it right. I think that's it. Is there anything else on this one? Nope, that's it.